Brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
Hey, yo, Shawn Porter, hold tight. We coming out there.
Live from Los Angeles.
Hey, yo, put your headphones on, man.
What you doing, man?
Letting the whole song rock, apparently.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it go.
All right,
I be
cool.
the one with the rollie on. Time
Yeah,
for
we're
it
just
with
letting
it.
this whole-
Break
letting the
the
whole
law
track
because
run.
we
This
out
is
to
what we
get
gonna
it.
do.
We can get a whole
Back
EP
home,
before-
just a matter of
before
days
Shawn's
to get
ready.
my
With all the
mind
BS
right.
we seen last night in boxing, we got stuff to talk about.
Yeah. That was a little delayed. The intro was a little delayed like the fights last night.
Hey, so I got
Little boxing
something.
inside joke.
Before we get into the show, I got something to tell you guys.
Okay.
Went to one of my customers' house. He's like, "I know you from somewhere." I'm like, yeah, you
No,
don't
he
know.
didn't. Did he?
Nah, I ain't doing it either.
Yeah. So I'm working about an hour into it. I'm getting ready to leave. He like, "I got it." You know Shawn Porter? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you do a podcast with him.
What?
Turns it on the TV and everything.
Oh, snap.
I'm like, I ain't know how to act. Like
Autograph?
Like,
All
yeah,
right,
you want me to sign your wife's boobs or something? Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
I ain't gonna front. I thought you was gonna say you was standing behind me at a fight or something
Oh
like that.
no.
Yeah.
No, he was like, he fan of the
Forgot
podcast.
we had this going on. Yeah, I forgot.
Dang.
Yeah.
I want to give our man credit.
Y'all on here, but
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like it's just me.
All right, cool.
That's fine.
You the A Mike.
Hey, that's what we
Yeah, we
said. We don't
understand
need
that.
any
Yeah.
shine.
Yeah,
We're just here
yeah.
to just throw in some words and some.
Yeah.
No, real talk.
laugh.
When he said I know, I'm like, ain't no way he saw you on TV with me, but he saw you on the podcast.
Oh, you really went? You didn't even think about podcast?
No. I'm saying, yeah. That's what I'm saying to you. I didn't.
Hey, he's loves what we do. He loves the podcast, and shout out to him.
Hey, we got some fans out there.
Yeah. Ran into my first fan.
They better start subscribing
Yeah.
And liking.
Yeah.
and
Subscribe
liking.
to the Clips channel, main channel, both of
Do your
them.
thing.
You got it. You got it. Appreciate that.
Listen, let's stream it on your preferred audio streaming.
What do we
platform.
have it on now, Hafey? What do we have it on now? Is it on Spotify?
Yeah.
Is it on Apple Music?
Not Apple
All the
Music.
major ones.
Oh, we on
don't have-
SoundCloud
we don't have
yet?
Tracks dropping.
No.
We on SoundCloud?
Excuse me. Yeah.
There's an Apple Podcast app.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's my preferred podcast
Yeah.
listener.
All right.
I was
Well,
hoping we-
shoot.
I don't know. I don't think we. got
I listen to
Apple
her on
Music.
Spotify.
We everywhere now.
Yeah, we out
And,
here.
oh yeah, and rate it too if you're on one of the audio platforms.
Please rate
Go
it.
there, give it a little 5
Oh yeah, you
star.
can like it on.
Please rate it.
Can you like? I think you can like it on that too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Hey, give us.
Facebook,
We need it all, baby.
Yeah.
Can I do a disclaimer real quick?
Of course.
We do it because we love it. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure this is a disclaimer. I don't think this is the correct word.
Well, the
for that.
disclaimer, because I think a lot of people now are starting podcasts to make money.
Okay.
Some people are starting podcasts to be seen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure that's why he's here. But
So the disclaimer is we don't want to be. It ain't about being seen. For 60%,
about the money?
70% of us don't want to be seen.
Why keep pointing at me?
you're
And
saying
then
it's about the money.
it's not about. And I'm
Oh, you
saying
said-
that it's
you
not
said-
about the money.
You said I'm here for the fame.
Yeah, you here for the fame,
Whatever.
and none of us are here for the fortune.
Hey.
But
But
we're just here to talk boxing.
But real talk, I mean, the disclaimer is we are here because we want to do something different and we want to enjoy it and we want y'all to enjoy it. So please continue to subscribe, the Porterweight Podcast, the Porterweight Clips channel, and just keep looking out. We've been having fun so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody keeps turning me down for my interviews.
Yeah.
No, we'd have done
No,
pretty.
we've had great
in the
interviews
first
already.
9 episodes we had.
Tiafimo,
We're
Steven
solid,
Espinoza.
baby.
You know it's
Bud
on me, though.
Crawford.
Hey, y'all know it's on me, right?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
I could tell y'all off air, but I'd rather tell y'all on air.
Yeah.
But y'all already know.
Yeah,
So.
well, yeah.
Yeah, be like, Sean, get your shit together.
Yeah, no, we've actually had some really good interviews though.
Yeah, we're
Calvin
solid.
Ford
Fix my-
last week was
fix
last
my
week
chair.
was
I figured
great.
that out. I don't know if I've been
I
making
hope
it
doesn't-
through. Yeah,
I thought
but
it was gonna drop down.
I'm good now.
Get
No,
your
no,
ego
no.
down.
I know. I was ready for that. I was like,
Drop down
oh,
and
don't
get
do
your
that.
ego down.
No.
Don't drop.
I did all this. I built all this. I
Dang.
went and bought it and built it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Built it.
We
How
need-
long it
we
take
need
you?
a candle sponsor, by
Took
the
a
way.
minute.
Okay.
Took a minute. Yeah, wifey didn't come in and burn us one
Yeah,
today.
it's just there, just for aesthetics. Speaking of aesthetics, I have a question for you. So you'll see my hat today. I have a Nerf hat on.
Yeah. Old school.
Was there anything that made you feel more powerful than throwing a vortex?
That one, right?
You felt if you threw a vortex Nerf football, you felt like you could throw it 3 miles.
Remember
I felt
when-
like Dante Culpepper. when
For
I
a
threw
minute, we
that.
just had the nerfs, but then they started making them where you had the sound.
I
Yeah,
launched
those
that.
things.
I thought I was
those
going to the
things-
league.
100%. Like you could go outside and throw one of those, and you're like, "Damn, I could be a quarterback,
Yeah.
easy."
I'm
And then
thinking
you
of
get an
every
actual
big
football, and
quarterback.
it's like, damn.
Brian Leftwich.
Yeah.
Everybody. I could do this.
And then when you didn't have that ball, it was always
Yeah.
you making the sound
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
because it empowered you.
Yeah, catch it by the tail sometimes.
So where'd you get the hat from? Is that an Amazon purchase?
No, this was Dumb Good.
Hey, my man looked up at his hat. I never
Yeah,
seen him
because
like before.
I couldn't remember if it was in here, but I know it's on the
He
back.
looked up at his hat.
It's Dumb Good.
It
It's a
don't
site.
look
They got
old.
some
Is it
throwbacks.
old?
No, it's new.
Yeah, it
but
doesn't
it's kind
look
of got
old.
vintage look to it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nerf. I also had the Beanie Babies TY sponsorship.
Hey,
A lot of people feeling the soccer jerseys.
yeah. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah,
in the
shout out to
soccer
everyone
jersey.
in
Hey,
Nottingham.
confirm this. Confirm it. Go ahead.
What?
Confirm that jersey.
Oh, yeah, we got Portsmouth.
The other one.
Oh, Nottingham. Yeah, Nottingham Forest last week.
Yeah, because man, they wanted to know.
It was fun.
They
So,
wanted to know.
The best is you'll scan through the comments and it's mostly boxing, and then you see, is that a Nottingham Forest jersey? And I was like, yes.
Is that your team?
No, I have how many.
I know you
have.
do, but what would you consider to be
was-
like your team?
I don't really have a team like Newcastle United, probably a little bit.
I was thinking
but
United.
I just have tons of soccer jerseys, so I'll keep it fresh on here.
I made contact too for the one you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I made contact.
My man.
I be looking out
My
sometimes.
man,
Yeah.
my man.
Give me something.
I give you work.
Can we
I give you work.
Can I tell the one?
You just put in.
Don't
Can I
tell my
tell-
job.
Can I tell the 4th of July story from a few years ago with
Go
involving
ahead.
that person?
Yeah.
So
Are you talking about when dude blew up his hand?
no.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to JPP and also but another person. But no, so we're so.
Oh,
Yeah.
So a few years ago.
My bad.
This is
Hey, we gotta start doing that because they gonna hate the inside.
so this is like a 5 at least years ago, probably around there. So we're at my aunt and uncle's for 4th of July. We're hanging out, whatever.
Yeah.
So then Sean comes up and he's just like, "Yo, look who I got on FaceTime." And you know how quick that is. You put a face up, people aren't like. And I'm like, who is that? I'm trying to look. And he's like, "Oh man, soccer dude." He's like, "Patrick," and I was like, "Patrick who?" So it was Patrick Van Aanholt. He plays for one of the Premier League teams for Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how was I supposed to connect that? How was I supposed to connect 2 and 2 from that? Like, oh yeah, of course, Sean. Noted soccer fan Shawn Porter that has a elite player.
What's funny is like I don't really like use my status or whatever to get things and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't know how to present it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like,
didn't know how to present
but
it.
no,
Yeah.
that was
So
cool.
and I was trying to look cool for him.
Yeah,
You know?
I respected it. And
Trying to
he's
keep
a
it cool.
Great
Yeah.
player. Shout out to Patrick Van Aanholt. Maybe get him on a guest at some point. But
we got to start switching it up at some point.
Yeah.
We've had some hot fights. So
Yeah.
that hasn't really been
Once
much
there's
room
a
to
lull,
much room to
which-
talk about anything
is
else.
there a lull coming up anytime soon?
What?
A lull in the
That-
fights.
a break.
Not a lot of great fights.
Hey,
Space.
Yeah, I got Nevada education. You lost me.
4 letters.
You lost,
L.
you lost me. I ain't even gonna lie.
I'm not mad at you for that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He
if we
like he
have-
over there like who was long?
talk to me like we 5.
He's about to grab his
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
like who was long?
Hey, shout out to everybody. That's what I'll be doing. That's my little
Yeah,
cheat
looking
sheet.
it up. But the because I don't know if there's anything super notable this weekend, and then the next week is Tyson and Roy Jones, which we'll
Yeah.
talk about next week because that was
No.
Dang,
about
you
next week.
want to
We'll
wait?
talk
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll talk about
it.
next week.
Yeah.
But
Every Monday, I swear to God, like every Monday, I'll be like, I try to just think about the show and all that.
Yeah.
Be like, damn, we ain't talk about Mike and Roy.
yeah,
I've
It's
been
coming
saying that
up.
for like
Yeah,
3
it's
weeks.
coming up though. But,
Yeah.
No, we've had really good fights. Last night was it was odd. It was an odd night.
Think so?
It started
Yeah.
off effed up, man.
Yeah, everything about it was weird.
It wasn't a good look. Let's say at first.
Because you just speaking on
I'm
ESPN.
speaking on yours because I started off with you.
Shout out
You
to-
started out with FS1. You
Yeah.
didn't start. You didn't start out with Shawn Porter.
You were calling the fights. You calling the fights. Maybe
Yeah,
he
but
was
I wasn't
watching-
a matchmaker.
He was watching. He was watching a special.
Give me all the responsibility.
But
Said
no.
I wanted it, but not all of it.
And
I
what-
didn't get a chance to see those.
Yeah, his fight. What was my guy name? You couldn't get the name right
Oh,
either.
man,
so
I
I'm
was-
put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I thought when I was watching,
My-
I'm like, I'm gonna ask Sean to bring it up.
My producer came in my ears like his name is Henry Arredondo. I was like, I've been saying Arredondo the whole time. Yeah, I was butchering his name.
Yeah.
So but I thought that was a good fight. We
Great.
had,
That was one of the best fights. That's the best fight all night.
yeah, we had Henry Arredondo.
I don't know. I just heard it for the first time now and I grasped it.
And Eros Correa, and it was a 8-round decision.
Yeah.
And I thought the decision was going Henry's way.
I had 5-3 at the most.
Yeah, and I had a 6-2, and I was like, okay, 6-2 for me, from my perspective. But and it's like I told Carson before. I said at some point you get so used to how these judges do things that you start to really just think the way the judges
Yeah, because
think.
it's a lot of times you throw stuff out there. I'm like, what does he see?
Yeah, and it's just I'm have my mind more like what I would think that the judges would do based on what I've seen for so long. And I said, I'm sure they've probably given this kid some rounds because of his hand speed. It was Correo I'm speaking on, but it got to a point where things didn't get out of hand. He was able to handle himself, but Henry Arredondo was coming on stronger every single round up until the last round. Shout out to Henry Arredondo. Both guys were undefeated, which
That's always a good time.
but when
Early
they're young and undefeated,
Yeah.
that's
Early
the
in
difference.
their career, for sure.
Yeah. And so the shout out be for Henry is to continue on. Don't let this stall. Don't let this put a lull in your career, because it was just one night, and it was a night where the commission didn't get it right.
It was bullshit.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Normally
It
I
was
wouldn't,
bullshit.
but I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Out of all my years,
You
of
said
watching
5.
boxing-
You said you gave him 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3.
And could you have seen it 4-4? No. Even with, again, thinking as a judge would think, or as I would think they would think, I said I don't think this is even a draw. I thought it got to the point where Arredondo was pulling away and then holding on to the
He
win.
felt him out the first couple rounds, two rounds, and I felt like after that he took control.
I felt like he gave away the first 2 rounds by not punching, and it wasn't
defense is not the best.
Yeah,
His defense is not. He literally walks in like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
hey,
you ain't gonna be
hit me real quick.
Yeah, when you get up to the elite level, he's gonna be able to do that.
Yeah. It's a lot that's kind of, I can't really point the finger at where it gets lost at, but a lot of these guys are very offensive and they don't have the technique, and I guess what a lot of people refer to me as a old school fighter. Old school fighters were offensively and defensively on top of their game. The elite guys, they can make you miss and they can make you pay. There were times where they just had to strictly use defense. Mike Tyson, prime example of someone who never just walked up on you. He was always constantly moving his head, getting low, giving you different looks, and that's something that Henry he should definitely add to.
And from your perspective, I think people would consider you a more offensive fighter than a defensive fighter. But how is the balance for you? Are you able to be somebody that everyone's like, Shawn Porter, he's on you from 1 to 12.
Yeah.
How are you able to be defensively responsible with also keeping that attack going?
The first thing is working on it. The first thing is learning it. I feel like, again, when I was saying, I don't know where it's lost at, I think a lot of guys aren't even taught defense. You see a lot of guys now, their defense is simply just keeping their hands up and covering up. And a prime example of that is the fight with, if we keep going back to it, Lopez and Lomachenko. Even though Lomachenko's blocking a lot of the shots, he's still wearing it on his arms, and it's just breaking them down physically. And that's something that a lot of these young guys don't know, that even though you're covering up, using somewhat of a shell defense, are you built up to be able to sustain that over the course of rounds? For me, going back to the question, first it has to be taught. The defense was, I've learned practically every defensive move you can learn. I really don't think there's anything out there that my dad hasn't taught me. After that, when you get to the ring, it's all about your mindset and understanding offense and defense. So for me, the thing that I've kind of trained myself for over the course of this last probably 3 years, since I've fought Keith Thurman. Slow down. It doesn't have to be just offense. And not every defensive move has to lead into an offensive move. Sometimes it has to be defense, step around and get out and start over. And that's something that I really had to just coach myself. Because most times my dad does teach me defensive move into an offensive move, defensive move into an offensive move, counterpunching, things like that. But the main thing I think is you have to just kind of know your pace and understand sometimes it's not going to be about out hustling a fighter at every single second of a fight. That's also been a part of my thing is I've just gotten it. If I'm offensively and I'm on the guy, I'm not losing any rounds. Sometimes
you take punches going in, bro, and I'll be like, come on, Shawn.
And sometimes you
just be like, fuck, I'm getting him.
And the thing that I'm really just been beating into my head is sometimes 4, 5, 6 punches through the course of the entire round wins the round. And there's moments where you just have to be defensively aware and responsible and win the round. You know,
It's like even if you go to the Keith Thurman fight, like you mentioned, if you land 10 punches and maybe kind of smother your attack and you're just offense.
Yeah.
But Keith lands
Big
5 crisp punches. The judges, it just depends on how they're going to look at it. But they might see that it was that Keith was getting the better of those exchanges.
And going back to the FS1 fight, I think that was definitely the case. Would you say where the guy was, we had one guy in Arredondo who's landing the harder shots, very clean shots too.
Yeah.
And then you have a Correo.
Credit to the guy. He took him because I didn't think he was going to
Yeah,
make it.
and Correo really didn't break down as much as I thought he was going to. And I was kind of, even through my commentary, was kind of leading up to he may be breaking down, but he never broke down mentally or physically, and he held up, and he ends up pulling out an 8-round decision.
Yeah.
But the ultimate thing we was getting to this fight is I never seen this in boxing when you announce the winner, raise his hand, it's
forgot about
over. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's over. Guy's putting his hand down. Ref's giving him. He's going back to the corner, and ref says, "Hold up." I said, "Hold up, what?" Hold up.
It's the remix.
Hold up. We go to commercial.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what happened on TV.
They went to commercial.
Yeah.
I was like, we come back, and then he's holding their arms again. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen a reversal call like that ever.
That's funny.
in the professional ranks, right?
Professional ranks.
Never seen it professionally. Not on the main stage. I think I've seen it, like, you know how you had the prelims, like way back down. You may see something like that. I'm not gonna tell on the commission. I'm not gonna tell on them.
Yeah, you won't
But
wanna
it was not.
What he said, they
smart.
have the corners messed up.
Yeah, they had the corners messed up. But 2 points to that, because one thing really tripped me out about it, and I'll go with the first thing first. That sucks.
Yeah.
Fair.
That sucks, especially when these guys it sucks for me because I know they could hear me.
Yeah.
Sucks for me because, you know, they're looking over at me and I'm like, good job, you know, and I'm like, you got it, you know? And so I feel like, all right, cool. My scorecard was right in line with what the judges were seeing.
Oh, yeah, they kept putting this scorecard. Like, he's
so
Steve, whatever guy name is.
Steve Fargo.
Yeah. I'm playing Steve's role as well.
Look at this guy.
And so that sucks. I've seen it in the amateurs. In the amateurs, and this is the point I'm going to make. In the amateurs, that happens. A guy throws a fit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen guys cussing out the judges. The coach is grabbing the fighter while he cusses out the judges.
Yeah.
I've seen guys get out of the ring and politely go over there and put their hands behind their back and just explain to me what's really going on. Am I really out of this tournament? Am I really out of this tournament? I've had guys that really couldn't even fathom losing that fight. Yeah. And a lot of times it's like, yo, you really didn't lose that fight, you know?
The hands behind your back move when you're yelling at somebody is I'm trying everything I can not to show that I'm putting hands on you.
Right. I've seen it before. Like, guy comes in. It's exactly what he said.
Yeah. Because that's how you're like, that's how you're showing.
Like, let me see it.
That's how you're showing. Hey, I'm not gonna put hands on you, but
I might put hands on you.
Right.
I'm concealing them.
If you say the wrong thing, I'm gonna put my hands on
right
you.
out in front.
But my other point to that is Henry didn't do that.
Yeah.
And
he took it well, man.
And on one hand,
Better
you could say
would've.
that's classy, but on the other hand, I didn't really understand what he or his corner were going through or thinking or feeling, because I thought he won the fight. Your hand gets raised as the winner when things gets reversed.
And they reversed it to a loss or a draw?
They reversed it and gave the win to Eros Correo.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear there.
Gotcha.
So they reversed they raised Henry's hand, and then they went to commercial
and switched the other guy.
Come back and they switch it and they give the fight to Eros Correo, who I think he would have been considered the A side.
Okay.
And I think I don't know.
We need a rematch.
So you move from that to ESPN was everything about that was a disaster.
Oh my God.
Not beginning to end.
I didn't see the beginning, but
so the beginning was delayed because of college football.
Okay.
So it was about 45 minutes probably, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
In
I had
fairness,
people texting me like, "Why is this game on?" I'm like, "It's not on. We on live right now." That was a good idea.
And I saw. In fairness to Dan Rayfield tweeted, somebody was like from England. They were like, "Why is amateur football on instead of championship boxing. He was like,
football.
it's college football. Like, it's a gazillion-dollar business. Like,
Yeah.
it's always going to take precedent. It happens, but so it's delayed. So you're losing that. People are like, oh, I'm tuning in, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the first fight, Franco versus Moloney, 2.
Right.
Moloney previously lost his belt. Closes Franco's eye in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Which also, shout out to Ant. Me and Ant were watching the fight. He changed the channel after the first round. Just briefly, just to check college football.
I checked the score. I has a bet on something.
And then we flip back.
Kids don't bet.
But then we flip back, and his eye is completely closed. And we're like, what
I'm freaking out.
happened?
Yeah.
Like, we're like, did we miss the 5 rounds? Like,
Right.
what happened? So then they're like, yeah, there's some swelling. So it's ruled by Russell Moore, the judge or the ref, as incidental headbutt.
Quick pause.
Go
When
ahead.
he changed the channel, did he announce that he was changing the channel?
No,
Or
it
did
was
did
after
he
the
just
round.
do
It was good, and it was.
I always feel
Ant's
the need to announce
Yeah.
it because people.
house.
He knew I was
just
coming
us
back.
two. Yeah, it was just us. I wasn't worried about it.
In my mind, when I went back, is I had it delayed, and I went back, and it's 8th round. I'm like,
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm
we
like-
thought it
yeah,
sped
yeah,
I'm
way-
like
we
Carson,
thought-
man, my bad,
we thought
man.
it sped way through.
dang.
but
Well,
it
that
didn't.
really helps kind of like spell it out though.
But
Yeah.
his eyes shut. They go second round. After the second round, or before the third, it's ruled can't continue. It's done.
I was just about to check on you.
Yeah, there he is. So before the third round, doctor rules can't continue. It goes to a no contest because Russell Moore ruled it an incidental headbutt.
Why you gotta say his name?
Because Russell Moore, if you're listening, you messed up.
Hey, Carson.
Hey,
Hey,
I was
everybody
mad
was
yesterday.
on that one.
So
everybody.
So
was
here's
on that
the
one.
issue.
But the thing with him, I seen a headbutt.
Yeah.
It was a headbutt. What the hell was the headbutt?
And so then here's my issue. So you have it that happens. It's a no contest. I feel terrible for Moloney. He's trying to win his belt back. He is looking great, landing tons of punches.
Yeah. No,
in those
he
first
was
couple
looked
rounds.
solid.
And so then this is one where I'm like, oh, it's frustrating. But then Nevada has the instant replay.
Yeah.
The only state that this can happen in.
Right.
So we're like, okay.
And they replayed the entire first round about.
They replayed everything about 400 times.
He was over it. 3
immediately.
minutes in, he was. Yeah, I don't understand what's
Because here's the issue, and shout out to Joe Tessitore, Tim, and Andre, because they're like trying to
They're
navigate
feeling
this
it.
delay.
Yeah.
And Joe Tessitore saying, what the commission is saying is they want to see 2 minutes and 15
Another.
seconds in the first round. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. So they show it, and they're like, nah, not seeing headbutt here. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, now they're
Let's
saying they
go
want to see
back.
the first minute of the first
Yeah.
round. Nope, no headbutt here. So we're waiting again. Going from the fans' perspective, you're losing fans this
Yeah,
point.
that's what we kept
We
saying.
were like, we love boxing, and I'm like, dude, what are we doing here? Like, what are we waiting for? So they take 26 minutes, and they
Yes.
get the call wrong still, and still give it a no contest. So you took that whole time, wasted everybody's damn time, and then still got it wrong. Here's my thought. Ant had a similar thought, but I'll hear your perspective and hear Ant if he still believes that. It was backing up the judge or the ref.
The ref, they're backing them more.
They're backing up more.
Right.
Because he makes the wrong call.
Right.
If anyone listening, tell me where the headbutt was in the first round, and I'll go watch. I promise. But there's no headbutt. If you replay, we watched the first round of that fight 700 times. It's like watching The Hobbit, like a Lord of the Rings movie. But there's no headbutt. So then for you to take this unnecessarily amount of time,
About 26 minutes.
about 26 minutes,
Yeah.
and then to still go, there was a headbutt somewhere in there, so that's what caused it. And they showed the punch that swelled his eye. They showed the punch.
Garcia family has a headbutt on. They saying this the headbutt they didn't show. I forgot. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead,
please,
go ahead,
yeah,
go ahead.
please do, because that's crazy. But and then speaking of Garcia, so Robert Garcia is trainer of Franco, and they cut to him, and I don't know why they did, because what is he going to say? You cut to the corner of the guy that didn't get headbutt, that got his eye shut, and you think Robert Garcia, who's been around boxing forever, is gonna be like, yeah, there was no headbutt. He got touched up.
He
whatever.
like, let's go home.
And here's my issue, Robert Garcia, you're one of the best trainers in boxing.
No
I
doubt.
love you, love what you're about.
No doubt.
But don't say the ref made a decision. We have to live with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
We want to get the call right.
The thing is,
You're a snake.
no, I'm not a snake. But the thing is, I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah, please don't.
The thing is, you have to. There's so much to protect in every facet of life. It's not just this one situation. But I mean,
Interesting.
The reason
Go
why
ahead.
I said there is because I was trying to find.
Sound like you were going to like an Aesop fable or something.
No, I was trying to find something that I could compare it to really make it make sense. But you have to protect everything. I mean,
You're
starting
saying
with
Robert Garcia?
no, I'm saying okay. Then I'll start with Ryan Garcia or Robert Garcia.
Yeah.
Robert's got to protect his guy. He's got to
course.
protect the belt.
Of
He's
course.
got to get out of the ring, protect that record, the whole nine.
I would have, if I were Robert Garcia, I would have kept it incredibly vague.
Yep.
I would have said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I saw it. His eyes shut, whatever. But don't say the fighter told me he got headbutt multiple times. You didn't see it. You're his trainer. You didn't see it.
But thank you, because sometimes when someone feels they need to protect somebody else, they talk. Others grab weapons. So
Fair enough.
Robert Garcia grabbed some weapons last night. He's doing everything
Lashing
he could.
out, kinda.
He's kind of lightweight lashing out, saying this is BS. Let's just go home. You know.
And I told you, it reminds me of the guys that like our dads or even our grandpas that like hate instant replay in the NFL, where there's like a clear fumble and they're like, "Oh, back in my day, they didn't correct
The
it.
call was the call.
Yeah, the call was the call." I'm like, you want to get the call right. That's
Right.
the point of boxing,
Right.
of football, of soccer, of anything.
Right.
So if you
But
have the ability, get the call right.
As Carson was saying, I understand where the commissions come from. Your guy made a call, you back your guy. My profession, my guy does something, I back my guy. We discuss it later.
Yeah.
Definitely was wrong, but I think that's what they went with. They didn't even. I don't think they were. It was to the
And they're
point they were
calling
trying to
people,
find.
I'm like,
yeah,
who
they-
you, Mike Jones? Who
Yeah,
you
yeah, who the
calling
hell-
here?
What was the phone calls about? I didn't
Call-
understand
call-
that either.
Calling New York. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know who they were calling.
Yeah.
They were calling ordering pizza. I don't know what
They
was
were
going
doing
on,
everything to
but-
protect their guy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
which I get it.
But when the
But-
head honcho comes in and said, and with his hands in his pocket,
Yeah.
and says, "Get this shit right."
Yeah, Bob
Yeah,
Arum. Bob Arum was ready to
Bob
fire
was
off.
not playing,
Yeah.
so just go ahead and do what you're supposed to do.
And shout out to Sean Zatella, Fight Hype, who
Yeah.
was able to
How,
get
how about we bring
exclusive.
somebody in that was inside the bubble?
Hey, yo, we going. Hey, come on in here, man. We got we got more than 30 minutes. We gonna give you some.
We got insight inside the
extended.
bubble
Real
and outside the
airtime.
bubble.
Yeah, but that was
2 bubbles in one night.
But yeah,
Y'all popping bubbles.
The fact that Bob Arum is the promoter and should be like he should maybe be not the cooler head, but like the fact that he was that mad, that shows you, that's not a good thing.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
if
And-
he's that mad, that's not good.
So going back to the protection, when you obviously want to try to protect the show, you want to protect the money, as everybody talks about the money. But again, when the guy who makes the show, and puts up the money, is telling you, hey, do the right thing here.
Yeah.
You got to do the right thing, but I think that's the main thing in boxing, or all throughout boxing. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of a lot of dick slinging. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to. Right.
The Balls Johnson swing.
A lot of Balls Johnson going on. I just said that. Yeah, there's a lot of Balls Johnson going on.
But my issue is, if you're a super casual boxing fan, what that does is that's just another reason not to watch boxing, because then the casual fans, like, we've seen bad scorecards, we've seen this, we've seen that, now we've seen a 26-minute replay that got the call still wrong.
But again, I'm gonna say this, and I'm putting my stuff out there right now. But you got a lot of old heads out there within the commission that are like, it's done, let's just go home. And like that's what old people would do. They would just go home and say, we did what we did, you know. But you can't.
Though, even if you're gonna do that, then do it in a minute.
Yeah, don't waste.
Say you watched the replay,
That's
you
true.
saw a headbutt, and it's
Yeah.
done. Don't take 26 minutes and then still get it wrong, and then
Or don't even go into it like that.
Yeah,
Like,
just
they could have literally looked at it during the time where they were just waiting.
100%. They could have watched that fight 3 times over in that time.
Yeah, I mean, we did on TV, right?
And I'm just like, just get it right.
And I think somebody really had to
Go ahead.
push to even get that.
You can't do nothing around him. One
I think
fast
you-
move.
I was
is-
confused too.
Yeah.
I was bringing them in, but it's
Oh,
not.
you're
It's not
talking
time
to
yet.
me.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
time
Cool.
yet.
All right. Yeah. So
I'm not gonna let it go. I'm ready.
Cool. All right, cool. So the thing was, they had to really push for him to even review it.
Yeah.
So that was that was nonsense.
Point to him.
No, my
That's all you had.
no. Just my question is.
I waited for that for you.
Yeah.
We might cut that. 'Cause I'm so mad. Wait,
You got him off track.
Yeah, you definitely kind of threw me off.
My
Like,
part. Sean's the teller.
No, but really, who
he was
could
inside the bubble.
Right.
who could Bob Bennett have been calling? The Bucks supposed to stop with him.
Yeah, that's what they kept saying. They were like, "You're the one that's supposed to make
Yeah.
the call."
Who
are you
was?
calling? I feel like he was calling
Meanwhile,
Tyrone.
Joe Tessitore and everybody else is giving us all this faith in Bob, and I've known him for years,
Yeah.
telling us how many fights he's done and all that. They're not going to get this wrong, and
And he did.
They could not let that one go.
Here's what's funny though: none of you mentioned Joe Tessitore, Andre Ward, Timothy Bradley. Look at how many fights those three just alone have been in,
buddy.
and the fact that none of them saw a headbutt. And then they'd say, "Oh, well, their heads kind of came together," there. And Joe Tessitore's like, "Yeah, on the wrong side of their face. Like it's on the other side. Like clearly, there's not a headbutt."
Like, bring the ref down. Show us the headbutt. That's what I'd have been okay with.
what,
Just
what you got?
No, I'm a cap because I feel like all of this right here has really bashed boxing,
But it
Right.
did-
and all the
but-
fans
but-
that were
they-
turning off the TV.
But the issue is
I'll
that
get
has
you,
to be
I'll
talked
get you
about.
back.
But
It has to
they
be
put us in that position.
Yeah, that was
to
the
have
issue.
to.
Especially, it's supposed to be this great fight card. You promoted Bud, you promoted Kell Brook, and then the first fight is 45 minutes late to start, which isn't your fault. You have this issue, and then just an absolute cluster.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and you still, even if they had taken 26 minutes, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even if you take that time and you get the call right, I would not have been mad.
Good
I would
thing-
have been annoyed, but
Good,
not mad.
good thing there weren't any fans there. I think it would have been pretty bad if there were fans there. But
Oh yeah.
Shawn-
Well, Andrew Moloney, the poor guy, was almost in tears.
Yeah.
After the. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
I
that was
heard
tough, though.
he did. He did cry when he
Yeah.
got back to the locker room.
He was
'Cause-
he was getting choked up on the interview with
Yeah.
Mark Kriegel or Bernardo Osuna.
like he said, they stole it from him.
Yeah, because you're trying to win your title back, and you fought great in those first two
He was
rounds.
fighting a great performance.
Yeah,
he
you
was
closed the guy's
'cause,
eye.
Yeah, he said he wanted to make it to where they wouldn't have to fight a third time.
Yeah.
And maybe he was even on his way to doing that.
yeah,
you know?
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, he
Just
started
it was
putting it on
just one round, but
Yeah.
that's what it looked like. It looked like he just was so turned on for the fight and was doing all the right things. Sean, I got a question for you though. With Nevada being the only state that does the replay, do you think this is something that they should continue to do?
Yeah, they just got to do
better.
a more effective job. Even, like Carson said, 26 minutes, even if they were going to ultimately rule in the referee's decision, you got to be quicker about it.
Yeah.
They got to make their minds up faster.
Yeah.
It should have took about 5, maybe 10 minutes tops.
I feel like ESPN should have stopped it.
But they have no jurisdiction. What can
Yeah.
they do?
They don't. Huh?
Well, okay, so here's the one maybe positive to take from it is people always wonder in boxing, is it incompetence or is it corruption when we get bad decisions and bad
Both maybe
okay. that's the
both
worst answer,
potentially?
right? If we get both.
because it was
No,
incompetence
but-
and maybe backing your guy when you shouldn't have.
he looking back and forth. He don't know what incompetence means.
What do you think?
But-
Yeah, he does.
No, but I mean, well, okay, here's the thing, Bob.
Don't break it down. I know what the hell it means.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Bob.
okay. You don't pay no attention.
No. I know you know what
Ignorant.
incompetence is.
Ignorant. I should call you the ignorant, but I ain't gonna do it because we on TV.
But no, I mean, Arum is supposed to have more pull than anybody,
Yeah.
and these are fights he's he's hosting,
Yeah.
and apparently he couldn't get his way. So maybe trying to be positive about this, there's something good we could take away from that is that he couldn't, even with the power of ESPN and literally the commission was going to make its ruling whatever they were going to make. So
Yeah, I think even right now at this point,
oh, and Bob Arum almost got into a fist fight ringside with Bob Bennett as well.
Oh,
Yeah, it looked like it from
they
watching
did.
on
I-
TV. It looked like
it got
was-
worse.
keep talking about. Oh yeah, and that's why we brought you here so we can hear that.
But no, Sean got an exclusive interview with Bob Arum afterwards, and people,
Heated.
Yeah.
and people got a lot of traction. So shout out to you, but
Yeah, watch it on Fight Hype.
how the hell did you pull that off?
fightheight.com.
Yeah.
How the hell did you pull that off? He was hot.
Well, he was ready
well-
to talk to anybody. I'm sure.
Oh.
Not to take credit from Sean, but like,
Oh no, it was easy. You just
put a camera in his
on.
face. He's gonna say something because he was fired up.
But imagine
Love
if
it when that happens.
Oh,
if
for
this
sure.
happened in the middle of a fight and they were trying to make a decision and it went for 26 minutes and then the fight had to continue.
Yeah.
Imagine how effed up that would have been.
Oh, I knew it wasn't happening because they had cut gloves and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I knew,
yeah.
Well, this
I
one
kn-
it couldn't.
I'm
This one
sorry,
it-
but
yeah,
yeah, I
but-
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is decision has to be made fast
Yeah,
on
that
the
was-
replay needs to be more.
It was a disaster.
And then it was heated after the fight between the camps.
Yeah.
You know, Garcia camp, we're talking a lot of trash to Moloney, and I'm trying to think why. You know, what could he have possibly
Peter's
done?
a talker.
Right, okay,
Yeah,
right.
you
He's
know,
Robert
Peter,
Garcia's
yeah.
son, right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a
that
talker.
was. I feel bad for Moloney, man. Like you're on your way to winning your belt back, and just you get robbed by the ref, and then you get robbed by the process. I felt like who was the general? Sam Hinkie, the general manager for the 76ers.
And then the
Trust
team of the
process,
other
and they got
fighter
him out of there.
claims you wanted to get out of the fight. So
Yeah, it's
you
like,
guys-
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Sean, you might know this, but has the commission, since they started doing replay, the what would you call that? The replay protocol, replay.
Yeah, we'll say protocol.
Did they ever release like the basically the program for that? Like,
I
this
have no
this
idea.
the
I've never
order of
looked at
things?
it.
Okay, I thought you might have seen something.
No.
Because I
should,
feel like
but-
that's necessary, you know?
Yeah.
You implement a new rule, everybody needs to know this rule. They need to know why, when, and how this rule could happen. I mean, we have the coaches throwing the red flag, but we know like at 2 minutes left in the game, you can't throw the flag.
Yeah.
You ain't got no timeouts. You ain't got no flag. You know what I mean? Like they
Right
should,
now, yeah, we don't know.
even with this, you know, we've already bashed the
Oh, we done-
commission.
we done
We're done
bashing?
bashing them.
Okay.
I'm a problem
Well,
solver.
they shouldn't look at it as, I don't understand why they think they'd be burying their guy for overturning a decision. It happens all the time in other
Yeah,
sports.
yeah.
You know,
I
you missed a
just-
call, you missed a call. It's not a big deal.
That's what
Just-
I'm saying. It was like
You made it so much worse by
yeah,
not.
like in the heat of the moment, Russell Moore.
You know?
Again, hopefully you don't miss it, but you can miss it.
Ugh.
You can miss. We miss things in fights all the time. Like,
And Carson brought up a good point last night. He said maybe he called it so he can just in case
Just in
it was a
case.
headbutt, and maybe they can review it, and he knew
Yeah.
that they can review it.
Like, there were
and I was
so
like,
many-
okay,
Yeah, there
that's
were
a good
so
point.
many-
Who's
This
the guy
guy
they
right here,
call-
no boxing.
Who's the guy they call in New Jersey when they need for the NBA to look at a call?
yeah, I don't
Is that
know.
who he was calling?
They
That's
need to
why I
call
said-
Ed Hockley or
Ed
somebody,
Hockley, yeah,
for the
did he?
NFL. But
oh yeah.
yeah.
that
And it
was-
sucks
that was
because
rough.
that guy got up on the ropes too and was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
He
his
said,
camp was
"Yeah,
like,
I did it."
Calm
Yeah.
down.
Nope, sorry.
Yeah.
I called it. I tweeted. I was like TKO3 for Andrew Moloney.
Oh, you did it?
Two-time WBA champion of the world. Yeah, I mean,
Psych.
Hey, he's nice, yo. He's nice
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, he's out there. But and then so thankfully, that was over after felt like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then we finally get to the main event,
which was good.
How do
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how do we feel about it overall?
Oh,
That was
I
a good fight.
feel good.
That was a good fight.
I felt. Oh, I want to know, of course, what Shawn said. I mean, but I thought Kell looked like Kell Brook, but my only question is, would he have been able? His punch resistance, would he have been able to withstand that shot and keep fighting, before being stopped by Golovkin and Spence, but outside of that question, which is so hard to determine,
Absolutely. It is what it is.
right? But based on the things you do know, his speed, his power, his coordination, and the skills he brought to the ring, he looked really good.
How did you? Let's do this first. Then, how did you have the fight scored going into the fourth?
29-28 Brook. I thought Brook won the first two, and then Crawford was picking up was
him in the
gaining
third.
control in the third.
2-1.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Brook.
Yeah.
I also had a 2-1 Brook.
Twitter knows I had a 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0 Brook. and I don't think you were crazy for that.
No, yeah.
A lot of those rounds were close. Like there was no completely lopsided.
I thought the only
rounds.
round that wasn't close
Probably
was
the
the
first.
first round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I thought Kell looked like Kell.
Is his jabs that damn strong as they look?
It looked like it.
No.
No,
You
Kell.
got punched and he
They were
whooped your ass.
thudding ringside, man. His jab
That
was
was long
thudding
ago.
ringside.
No. You remember the ass whooping?
He just answered it. It was thudding
No, I'm-
ringside. Go with
But you
it.
weren't ringside.
No, you wasn't.
I still think you know better. I still think, yeah. Forget ringside.
Jump on that. I still think you know better, book.
But how?
I know, right? No, I know.
Yeah,
No.
for somebody that has, again, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But for somebody that has been in there with Kell,
Y'all not even gonna like my answer.
okay, cool.
Because as I had to think about it,
Yeah.
That's
I was so out of my mind in that fight, thinking that I was going to knock that dude out.
Yeah.
That I really did not feel anything.
Adrenaline.
I knew adrenaline. I knew I was getting hit.
Yeah.
I knew I was getting hit coming in, but I could not get out of my own way to
Yeah.
make an adjustment. But again, to hear him say it was thudding ringside,
Yeah, it looked
to
like
to see him hit me with it, and basically, in a lot of ways, keep me off of my game.
Yeah.
And obviously, was effective, and I thought it was effective with Terence Crawford as well.
you
You laughing? I don't like it.
Well, no, it's just a super quick question before we get back to the fight.
Super quick question.
How do you feel as a boxer, multiple-time world champion, when they use a clip of you
He's
getting
only two-time.
punched on multiple time, 2
I
times?
told my wife
when they show you getting punched for a highlight.
I told her it is what it is. It's
Okay.
a part of the game.
She got mad
because
Was she-
Yes.
I would be
Why are
like,
they
Like
showing
right now,
that?
she doesn't like Errol Spence.
yeah,
Errol Spence Jr.
because they show the highlight.
Because they show the highlight.
Every time I'm
But
just
it
like,
is what
hey,
it
that
is.
ain't necessary. You
Hey,
don't
here's the
show that
thing.
again.
So Fox wants me to talk about the fight leading up,
Yeah.
pump up the fight, keys to the fight, all that kind of stuff.
They didn't have a clip of you getting hit.
last week.
Yeah.
They wanted me to do it.
Okay.
He sent me the clip.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, can you take that last clip off?" It was me get the big hit, the
Yeah.
big shot. And he said he says, "Hey, can I call you real quick?" I'm like, "Oh, here we go," because I hate being on the phone, but I also knew it was
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
some resistance there. We get on the phone and he says, "Hey, I just want to let you know we're gonna take it out this week, but that was really that was a big moment
Yeah,
in the
of course.
fight.
Yeah, you gotta
it
let
was
it
one of his biggest punches that he's ever landed, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have to put that back in and show it." So I just want to let you know right now, you're gonna see it over the course of the next few weeks leading up to the pay per view. I said, "No, I get it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I don't wanna be
got hit with it.
narrating while I'm getting punched."
I said, but this first one for this first show, I just
Yeah.
don't want to narrate over it for the first show.
That's a cold world.
I
man.
said after that, throw it in, do it, whatever you got to
Yeah.
do. It's a part of it. I get it. I said, but for my first time on FS1, can
Yeah.
we take it out, please?
Yeah.
He
They're like,
said, "Yeah, we'll take
so
it out."
Yeah,
this
when you were
week."
getting smoked here, what exactly were you thinking?
So then he
about?
hits me up again, and of course this week, "Hey, I need you to talk about the keys again. Just want to let you know the clip's in there."
You're getting
I said,
popped in the 11?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
makes
gonna
me
admit
laugh,
to him.
Okay.
We watching the fight last
You gonna
night.
do what?
Admit to you about something.
Oh, admit.
We
Oh,
watching
okay.
the fight
I'm
last
like, damn,
night.
he used the word I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, I don't want to see Shawn in here with the Kell again. He'll still tax his ass. I said it.
That's crazy.
Dang, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Talking about Kell fighting me.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Based on his punch resistance,
I'm
though,
like,
not sure that,
yeah, I'm like, thank God he lost.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
And again, styles make fights.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I
so-
feel like he got the
Yeah.
style to whoop your ass.
And I used the wrong style the first time we fought. I mean,
sure.
I'm not going. I don't even, obviously I don't have to go into it because I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
going to be fighting the dude. But
Yeah.
I already told you, I'm like I didn't swear up and down, but it is what it is. And
Yeah.
in a rematch, it wouldn't be the same. And even in 2017, it wouldn't be the same. 16, it wouldn't be the same. The year after we fought, it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
So just a moment for me. And unfortunately, it was on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
At that point in my career.
So to close on the Kell centric part of it, one thing I mentioned to Ant yesterday that's frustrating. I wish he would have fought Amir Khan when they were both kind
That
of
was
at the
so
top
sad.
of their
Never
game.
say never.
Yeah, but
Well,
now,
that's what I told him.
but now,
He's
now
like,
who
I'm
the hell
over it
cares?
now.
Like,
Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
now
Yeah.
I could absolutely care less. I couldn't care less. But
it's
yeah.
like the Tyson and Roy of Britain.
Oh,
Yeah,
Damn, you damn.
That's a
Come
little
on,
much.
man.
That's a
It
little
is what
much.
it is.
That was a little
No,
much.
it is what it is.
But I'm like,
you're right. Roy and
that-
Mike are bigger.
That would for sure. That would have been such a great fight and an interesting fight. And I think
And
they
they're-
genuinely dislike each other.
Yeah, and their primes.
And they both just kind of it didn't happen.
I don't think Khan was keen on ever giving him a shot to. I think sometimes with fighters, there may be times there's one guy you just don't ever want to give the satisfaction of
beating
losing
you?
to, and I don't think Khan really wanted
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't think he could win the fight,
even
but the
if he
fact that
didn't.
he could lose. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, I don't
That's
want to give this
funny. That's a
motherfucker a chance.
Yeah, that's a good
I
thought.
don't want to give
It's a good thought.
Yeah.
So, Bud.
So even with it being 3-0 going into the fourth round,
Yeah.
and we saw at the end of the third round that Bud switched to southpaw. I'm starting to feel that Bud feels more comfortable at southpaw.
Southpaw Bud is
He's a
different.
southpaw. Like I know we talk about, like, he could definitely fight out of both stances,
Yeah.
but Terence Crawford's a southpaw.
He's
He-
different when he turns southpaw.
Southpaw.
Yeah.
Man,
I feel like he turned southpaw to really just like flip the switch.
and whoop your ass.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
And deal with it, And I feel like when he is orthodox, I feel like that maybe, again, I'm studying the dude. So I
Yeah.
feel like early on in the fight, I'm coming out orthodox to see if I can have success over here.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll switch,
Switch it, yeah.
and I'll show you who I am.
I got it in my back pocket
Yeah.
if I have to.
That
Yeah.
Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
And he's not giving you.
I thought he's about to come at me.
I know.
I was waiting on you.
I literally had something.
I was over here stuck with it, like.
That is how personal. We're on the podcast now.
That Bud is, I would contest, if not number one in the top 3 most ruthless fighters when he has you hurt. That dude is going to bury you. The second he hurt Kell and Kell stumbles across the ring into the ropes, he hit him with like 5 more punches.
His eyes was like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I said,
Oh, you knew it was over
The
after that punch.
second
Yeah, it was.
The second Bud senses any damage that's done to you or any weakness, it's an absolute rise. Curtains. You are donezo.
Yeah.
I kind of want to gush about him for a second.
Go ahead.
Like, because we gave Lomachenko so much credit for how he takes in data the first couple rounds. That's what Bud's doing as a right-hander.
For sure.
And then he goes southpaw once he figures that out. And we talked so much about how Lomachenko as a southpaw would take that angle. And Bud does it too in his own way. He gets the angle on you so good as a southpaw to where he'll jab you twice. He doubles it up so much, and then you get half of his body, and now he's lined you up perfectly for his left hand, his right hook. And there's a guy in his own way he actually reminds me of that most people wouldn't think of. And even though Bud, I think, has a better jab than this guy did and better legs, Juan Manuel Marquez, because Marquez was a guy that started slow and then was a brilliant offensive counterpuncher. Yeah. You know, most counterpunchers, you don't think of them as these offensive guys, but like Marquez, Crawford is this incredible offensive counterpuncher. And then once the rounds start going, he just gets cooking and cooking and cooking and cooking. So he's special.
I'm asking. I know the answer to this, but I want to know from you. I may or may not say what I know, but do you feel Bud is more of a counterpuncher or more of a aggressive?
That's why he reminds me of Marquez, because he's like an offensive counterpuncher.
Yeah,
that's a great way to explain it. That's a great way.
He is tactical with the whoop ass. Yeah. Like he seriously, he hits him with that shot, and I'm like, first off, he closed the distance. All of a sudden, I feel like Kell Brook stumbles back and looks up, and he's like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
he's on me again."
I literally blinked.
Yeah, like I blinked. I fell into the ropes. And where this guy hit me was 5 more punches.
I almost fell out of my seat. Yeah, because I'm like leaning back,
Mr. Over the top.
I'm leaning back, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. But then, and again, there are times where you see somebody get rocked, and then the guy puts the pedal on, or his foot down a little bit on the pedal, and they maybe get out of it. Bud is not letting that happen. He is slamming that door shut.
I agree.
And gets him out of there. And
can't argue that.
It was a good performance. It was, I mean, even if you lose 2 rounds at worst, like sensational knockout. I don't know what it does for his legacy though. I'm not sure.
I think it's a good win.
Yeah,
I think we all thought it was
solid damn win. To me.
Yeah, I think we all thought it was.
I'm not gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
Even if I'm just saying, if Earl gets knocked out, I'm not gonna be that guy and say, "Well, he got beat up." No, Terence got up there and whooped his ass. Yeah. Terence is probably that damn good.
You do got to look at what they bring in the ring, though.
Yeah, but I feel like Terence is that damn good.
And
too.
Right, Brook passed the test. Looking at him, but if it is fair, let's say Errol comes in and we just see it. He's not the same guy. It is fair. I don't think it's taking credit away from Danny if that's what happens.
Because I just don't like to take credit from guys.
No.
And I feel like they went up there and got the job.
Because I think even yesterday, somebody who didn't watch that fight maybe afterwards says, "Oh, of course he knocked out Kell Brook. It was good, but whatever."
Right.
But you didn't watch.
But you didn't
fight.
watch that he was probably losing to Kell Brook. But it was. I thought it was a very, very great performance from Bud. And he did.
I've never been more convinced that, like, we always wanted Crawford Spence, but I've never been more convinced that it's actually a great fight that it's going to be a war.
Such a great fight.
Yeah, because Crawford is just this great. He's what they say. He's 12 knockouts, 15-0 in title fights. No one's went the distance with him since Postal, and he dropped him twice. The guy is exciting to watch. And then Errol was in the fight of the year last year with you. So I've never been more convinced that, because we usually demand these fights because it's the best versus the best.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it actually plays out into a great fight. But I've never been more convinced that Crawford and Spence is like a fight of the year type of fight.
And even if we do get that fight, let's say Earl goes on, beats Danny, rematch Shawn, beats Shawn. You didn't put him in with Pacquiao 2022? I say, Earl, get all your money on this side.
Nah, I want to.
That's
I know we want it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But
but then we're talking reality here.
Yeah, reality.
Yeah. Say-
clean up on your side.
And so I gave Bob Arum credit earlier.
Well, Sean beat Errol then, so you could fight Terrence. So we don't have to
He
wait so
that's
long.
my guy, but I'm just saying.
So I gave
No,
Bob
I'm just saying
Arum-
so Terrence can get his shot.
I gave Bob Arum
I'm
credit
not a part
earlier.
of the company line.
Yeah, no, we'll get
It's
you.
unfortunate.
But I with Bob Arum, I gave him credit for how he dealt with the commission earlier. But then after the fight, after Bud wins, I can assure you, Errol Spence is not scared of Terence Crawford. I don't think Errol Spence is afraid or even threatened by any fighter.
Nobody on that
And
side.
I don't think Bud is afraid of Errol. I don't think either of them have any fear of fighting the other one at
They're
all.
they're ready to fight.
Yeah, and so the fact that everyone always, I mean, that's boxing, that's how it goes. But to push the narrative of like Bob Arum, Errol Spence is going to do everything he can to avoid. No, he's not. He's not at all.
It's chess moves at this point.
Yeah, and it's like those guys of the fighters. I think you get a lot of credit for that you're willing to fight anyone. I think those guys absolutely are willing to fight anyone.
I think 90% of the boxers at the top are willing to fight just about anybody.
And I think they even are more than maybe a normal like, hey, I'll take that fight. I think they want to fight. Like Errol has been calling out people forever.
Yeah.
So he's ready to fight. And Bud Crawford, same way. I think
And Errol's got a great jab, and we saw Terrence
course.
getting touched up by the jab. And if I was Errol, I'd probably be watching that, saying I could do the same thing, if not, but better.
I had zero clue who wins that fight. I have no.
I'm going with Bud
idea.
Crawford.
Hey, Terrence impressed the hell out of me last night. I'm clueless.
I have no idea. I think the style matchup is it's almost a souped up version of what yesterday could have been. You have Errol, who's I think a better athlete than Kell, and I think he has stiff straight punches. Obviously, has good power. He's been in some wars.
Great body puncher.
So I think you have like a souped up version of Kell Brook, but it's Errol Spence, like what he brings to the table, and then Bud is just. I think he maybe has more
in his bag.
Yeah, more in his bag, and also more. I think he has more like one punch power than Errol maybe. Like I think he can get you with one shot where I'm not sure Errol. Not that he can't, but I think Bud maybe has more of that. But that fight would be unbelievable.
I think Earl last two fights took something off of his being
Basketball.
that guy that can just stop people.
Think so? Well, maybe he brings it back because and those two trash
That left
talking
hand
would
he's
be-
got looks pretty good.
Oh
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I think
Those two talking trash. The build up to that fight would be excellent.
Playing devil's advocate.
Let's go.
The only thing I feel was missing last night was resistance from Kell Brook. He had zero resistance. His resistance was his jab. The jab was landing, was effective.
Okay.
The one thing I said about Kell Brook is he's technically extremely sound. Probably one of the most technically sound welterweights in the world.
sure.
He has a fantastic jab, and as long as he can land that jab, he's gonna be okay. But there has to be something behind that jab. First round, even he's able to land a 1-2. I looked at that, I said, simple 1-2. Okay, just first beginning of the fight, haven't really got hot and really ready. A simple 1-2 touched you, so what? Keep it pushing and make your adjustments. So I'm just watching the fight as a fan and doing the best I can to watch as a fan and not someone who's studying it or someone who's reporting it.
Yeah.
I never really watch fights like that except study. I do one of two things. I either study you or I watch as a fan. I don't want to mix the two because it dulls it down.
Yeah.
However, that last round, in the fourth round where he got hit with, it looked like an overhand right. It was a counter punch, right?
it's funny because on the replay it looked like almost a jab.
It was
right
just,
hook.
and
like
it
a
came
jab
from about right here.
In person, it looked like a straight right.
It looked
hook.
like it
Did
turned
he?
at the
Yeah.
last minute.
Yeah, but in person, in real time, it was a lot more obvious it was a right hook. And then I see the
It was more
replay
of a right
and I'm
hook.
like,
Because it looked to me live, I thought it was a jab.
Right.
But then it looked like it came from kind of a weird angle for a jab, and I was like, wait a second. Two's not adding up here.
Yeah.
So
you're special when you land in different kind of punches.
Yeah.
that
So
we don't even know what to call.
So to continue on, I'm Kell Brook. I got hit in right along in the eye area,
the face region.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I go back into the ropes. Tony Weeks steps in, does what he has to do. You have to, as a fighter, you have to be able to calculate everything that's going on. Even yourself. How do I feel? Blink. Let me get my shit together.
Well, he was out of it though.
Yeah, Sean, he was messed up.
He asked
don't-
what happened in the corner.
And again, I don't understand how you're out of it from that punch.
Maybe the punch was stronger than it
Yeah.
appeared.
But that's why I ask, and it's so hard to know, but is it the punch resistance? Is that the one area where it showed up that he isn't the fighter that
But I
Yeah.
don't think fighters are out of it from that punch for 8 to 10 seconds. And he had about 8 to 10 seconds to recover.
But my counter to that is, so you get hit with a shot which clearly rocked him. He falls back into the ropes and then gets hit by
he got hit a couple more
5
times.
more
Yeah.
solid
Now
punches.
y'all have been you've been in a street fight before. I don't know about you. I know about you.
Hell no.
Okay, so if somebody throws something and landed, somebody throws something at you at all,
Yeah.
what's your first reaction? Oh shit.
Shit, yeah. I've seen stars.
Where did oh shit when oh shit after oh shit you start to calculate what I need to do. He did not. That's what I'm talking about. Resistance. He did not
I
calculate.
didn't fight a fucking
what I
professional
need to
fighter.
do.
But
It's all the same.
My
What do I
question-
need to do?
they gave you the stars.
let me
You guys
ask-
are fighting good
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, he
I
stuck-
didn't-
let me ask
I
you
didn't-
this though.
I fought
If
bums.
he's rocked like that, and if he's out of it like that, I'm not sure if there is a time to react. Like you're acting like he got hit and could have reacted. I don't think he was mentally in that moment. I think he was out of it.
And I answer that question simply with offense to defense. I talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
You can't. It's boxing is like this. The reaction is like this. So how could even in the moment of being hurt, you can't calculate what you need to do to survive, what you need to do to keep a guy off of you, what you need to do to stop a guy from punching.
Sean, you have a great chin.
Yeah.
You got to understand that everybody don't have that damn chin you got.
I have not studied the fight. However, I think
He's like, thank
here
you
we
for the
go, here we go, here we
compliment.
go.
I think he's standing there
Okay.
just like this. And when Tony Weeks says, do you want to continue? He shakes his head, yes.
Okay.
Get your hands up like you want to continue. Get off of the ropes like you want to continue. As Bud approached him, he went here. He didn't go here. He didn't move, nothing. He went here.
He was fucked up.
That's no resistance.
He
That's
was
not
messed up.
that's not professional boxing.
Let me add, but
And I'm not saying that to take anything away from
Kel,
Terrence.
if you
And
had
I
missed your
really
seat-
don't think I need to say that I'm not.
Of
I am or
course.
am not
Yeah,
taking
of
anything away
course.
from Terrence.
Of course.
However, I'm disappointed in Kell, and I'm disappointed in the integrity that he brought to the ring last night, because I feel that if anything, I've seen guys tackle guys. They've been hurt and they tackle guys. I've seen guys get knocked out trying to swing back.
You saying he didn't do what the hell he had to do.
When you yeah, and when you go down like this, you're basically saying, "There's nothing I can do. Stop the fight." That there was no resistance beyond his
I
jab,
can't see that, bro.
and then getting hit with
it's
that punch.
impossible for me to debate you on this because you've been hit with big shots. But I don't think. I guess my disconnect.
I promise,
with what you're
I'm not
saying,
thinking to myself.
No. I know that, but I think my disconnect is you keep saying your reaction when you do this. I don't think he was mentally able to react in that moment. I think he was so hurt by that shot and the shots that followed it. Like if you have a concussion, you know how many, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, like
So like I understand you in your logic that you should in that point react or do this or do that, but I'm not sure if you're out like that. I'm not sure if he is able to go, let me do this. Let me pause and let me defensively.
Hey,
'cause he
are
looked like he
are
was
you
out of
thinking
it.
outside of yourself?
Yes,
Are you really?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Because that's what I feel like the lot.
No.
The
What about,
There's-
they say the punch you don't see coming. And it was the shot he didn't see.
No, he surely doesn't.
Just don't
see
give
it.
a damn.
What
I got
about-
hit with a
are you
shot I
saying-
didn't see coming.
So why? So when you got hit,
I'm thinking outside of myself, but I have been hit.
Yeah,
Well, let's go back to you personally then.
Okay.
So you get hit by Errol in the fight, in the clip that you wanted them to take out.
You get up, you say, "Let's
Why?
go."
No, but, so you get hit.
Yeah.
Did you think I should put my glove down?
shit,
You
no.
didn't. Well, I'll be damned.
Hey!
Hold up. Got him.
Got him.
Let me stop standing up. That's not what we're about here. I promise you. Hold up. Re-ask that question.
So your expectation of Kell after he gets hit with a huge shot and multiple shots after that is to immediately react and do something defensive, even though he's out of it.
Sean's like, he should recover.
You got hit with a big shot, and you just said, I didn't mean to put my glove down, or I didn't do that on purpose. That proves my point.
But there was 2 seconds between me putting my glove down on the canvas and getting up.
All it
and
takes
then
is a second.
and then about 6 seconds between me being ready to fight, and then another 8 seconds for me to say, we about to do this. Let's go.
Yeah,
Are you, is it like what Teddy Atlas says? He didn't behave like a fighter.
He did not behave like a fighter.
Yeah.
And when you do not behave like a championship fighter, that means something's lost. That means coming to the ring, something wasn't there. And what wasn't there coming to the ring was a championship mindset to give resistance and fight no matter what. So I think it became a little bit of a debate. Thank you for getting me there, but that's where basically what I was saying.
No, it's like once it really got hot, the 34-year-old former champ, who had already been through hell 2 different times, said, you know what?
Yeah.
I guess
I've had enough.
But
I didn't.
But that's the boxing game, and
I feel like he just got fucked up.
and
just feel like he got rocked. Yeah, I didn't
if
see
you're
that.
Bud Crawford,
Or that,
you will
yeah.
send somebody to that state of mind
Yeah.
extremely
quick.
quick.
And that's what that's
Right.
what I'm saying. I think it was more Bud's power. I personally watching that fight, and Ant and I are watching that fight. I don't think we didn't think at all that he quit.
Hell no.
We both were just like, oh, he got smoked.
yeah.
Like I that was how I.
Terrence
interpreted
turned it on. He
I
turned
didn't-
southpaw.
But
turned it on.
It's like I get it. It's
I
like
don't
there's
use.
quit,
I'm not
there's
using the word.
outright
I didn't say
quitting,
the word quit.
And then there's like
and I'm not using the word quit.
I get
acquiescing.
that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying I don't think that was a Kell not defect, but I don't think it was a deficiency on Kell that he lost and got knocked out.
Terrence
I
beat
think-
it out of him.
I think Terrence got him to that point, like you said, and knocked him out. And that was just me. I
Hey,
didn't.
he wasn't. He was done.
Yeah, the second he got hit with that shot, how did he? Let me ask you this then: how? So he gets hit with that shot. How did he stumble halfway across the ring, back in the ropes, and why was he cross-eyed?
You're proving my point. You're proving my point. If you have the energy and strength to be able to stumble but keep yourself up, if you have the energy,
After that, he
and
got hit 3 more times.
but we're not talking. I'm talking about the initial
Punch.
Oh,
knockdown.
Okay.
And
All right.
where he in fact hit the ropes and did not go down. After that moment, as a fighter, we're warriors.
Yes.
Some of us are out of our mind and don't even understand
Yeah.
that we shouldn't fight back.
Yeah.
We have more fighters that don't understand that we shouldn't fight back than we do fighters at that level. Then we have fighters who are like, okay, I'm done here. You know?
He's no longer a warrior.
So he's no longer a warrior.
Okay.
And warriors have present resistance.
He
no
went
matter
out on
what.
his shield. Get a man that.
He's claiming that he did.
Yeah, I know.
He
Just give it to him, bro.
I don't know why. I feel like we're arguing.
We are.
Yeah, that's what we do. This is the argument show now.
Because I feel like y'all not
Going out on
understanding
your
me.
shield is like Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
He didn't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He went out on his shit. No, I mean
He was out. That's
They are-
being out.
But you also
That's what I mean,
But you
though.
gave Kell. You
like,
gave.
that's what I mean.
You said you proved my point because Kell was able to stumble backwards and not go down. I don't think in his mind or his body, I don't think that was a reaction. I think he was out and fell backwards.
Okay, so
His
here
body
I'm
was
gonna do
trying
it.
to keep him up.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it one more time.
Okay, let's do this.
and
Do
then
it.
we'll move forward and probably close out.
Okay.
Here's the thing: at the championship level, even if you aren't taught how to hold, even if you aren't taught how to clinch somebody,
Kell's an expert in
how
holding and
to
clenching.
Held the shit out of you.
Yeah, 250 times.
Where was
on
that
now.
at, Sean?
Come on now.
Where were those skills?
Come
Where
on.
were those-
Hey, he was hyped.
Yeah, he was waiting for that.
What I'm saying is, at the level that we fight at,
Where was that at when he needed?
you're supposed to know what you're supposed to do at all times. When something like that happens, you get hit with a punch that may send you out of your comfort zone, may send you
Out of your mind.
out of your mind, may give you
Send you out of
stars.
the ring.
You may be gone and then come back.
Yeah.
Once you come back as a warrior, as a championship level fighter, you're supposed to understand what the next move is. And the fact that he did not even present that move or moves leads me to believe that he was not prepared to give any resistance once the heat came.
Even if he did, Sean, it was 2 minutes.
Love, I talk like this to you when we arguing. Do it ever work?
No, it's not working
Because
right
it's not
now.
working right now.
This shit ain't working
I'm hearing
here either.
myself. I'm hearing myself, and I'm seeing myself.
Laughing over here.
Yeah, because you see us, right?
Because I
Sean,
don't.
He still
I'm
had 2
digging-
minutes, Sean. He would have got text anyways.
I get what Sean's saying,
So get
and I like
tired.
that.
But also,
I like what he's saying.
I think
do.
you're
He's-
discrediting a little bit.
That's
it's
my
a great
thing, man.
The punches after he fell back into the ropes.
They were dead.
Because if you
we
fall-
just said
okay.
he's the best finisher.
After
So
he fell back into the ropes,
He got hit
he
with-
tried to jump on. He tried.
He did.
He
didn't
did,
try.
Sean.
Two
He hit
punches?
at least 3.
Okay.
And clean punches.
From,
too.
we went from 2 to 3. 3
No,
punches.
nobody said 2. You said 2. I
we-
said 4 earlier.
I went
said
from.
3.
I said 2. They said 3.
Yeah, but those weren't like he didn't close over there and like maybe land a body shot. He landed huge punches
To the
against him in
head.
rope, to the head.
When you already.
So you're already starry, and then
Oh.
you get hit with big shots
Oh,
again.
I forgot.
Okay.
I'm not talking to boxers.
Not at all.
I'm gonna bring some boxers on.
Oh, no.
I'm not. Hold on.
We're out of here.
I'm not saying I'm replacing y'all or
agree.
nothing like
Oh,
that.
it's done.
What
We ain't leaving.
I'm gonna get some.
fight a boxer.
I'm gonna get some video.
Okay,
and
all right.
show y'all like with a. Not gonna say. I'm gonna show y'all what other boxers would have done in that situation.
Okay.
And could have done in that situation.
Okay.
And I feel like there was no resistance coming from Kell right there, and that was to me the only disappointment
From the
fight.
evaluation of
Yeah,
And
great
again-
fight.
And again, to reiterate to anyone listening, he's not discrediting Bud's performance or his power.
Absolutely,
Those are grade A.
absolutely.
So no, I think we will just have to agree to disagree because A, you've been in there. I
That's one thing I can't
No,
take
but
you
from
can't
you.
disagree, but
Yeah.
I
pissed at
kind
y'all
of
right
agree
now.
though. It's like that's overall. I agree
stupid
though.
Sean's
That's
agreeing. I hate
the
these
area
guys.
where the age did show. It didn't show up in his speed. It didn't show up in his power. It didn't show up in any of that. That's where it may have showed up.
Great fight though.
Is the ability to take that shot and recover from it and want to recover from it and dig as deep. Yeah,
A
all
great
those
fight
things.
and a great way to end the night. You know, especially with the way things started. Great way to end the night. I do want to touch on this real quick. I know we over. I want to touch on this real quick because, Sean, you were there and you saw everything that was going on. You saw the way that Bob was moving, and I saw the way that ESPN, Joe Tessitore, Andre Ward, Timothy Bradley, even Bernardo, and Mark Kriegel, who was a great friend of mine. I love Mark. I'm not mad at all, and I understand it's the order of things, it's the way things are. But I said this to the guys. I think I said it before the show started. But Shawn Porter is not a part of the company line.
what do you mean by that?
You interview Bob and you ask Bob a question, and I didn't see the question, but I saw the answer, and Bob was alluding to not being able to make the money that he wants to make against or with Terence Crawford.
Right.
That bothered me. And I'm gonna go on record for saying that bothered me because that's a part of the business that you keep to yourself. You keep in the house.
Yeah.
You don't let everyone else know something like that. You don't let everyone know how you feel about the business and about your guy. Unbeknownst to me, I feel like Terence has done a fantastic job within Top Rank.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Clearly, he's been loyal to no one but Top Rank and Bob Arum. You are Top Rank, and I felt very displeased by what I had read from Bob Arum. So when I talk about Shawn Porter not being a part of the company line, Bob Arum isn't wanting to cash out with Terence Crawford. However, he is wanting to make more money with Terence Crawford. It's no secret. We all want to make money in the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
He does not think that he can make that money with Shawn Porter. He knows that he can make it with Errol Spence Jr., and he knows that he can make it with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
He does not know if he can make it with Shawn Porter.
Yeah.
And because Shawn Porter does not have a belt, there's a lot of risk in that fight with Shawn Porter.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, and I understand it fully. But when I say Shawn Porter's not a part of the company line, everyone's talking about Terence Crawford fighting Errol Spence Jr., fighting Manny Pacquiao, and so on and so forth. But no one's talking about him fighting me. What did you take away from the question and response that you got from Bob Arum in terms of him not really being able to? He said losing money with Terence Crawford. What do you feel about him in the business right now?
Well, first off, I think a lot of people did want to see you and Terence fight.
Yeah.
And then once we heard from each of you that it's not going to happen for whatever reasons. Then those talks simmer down, and now everyone's back to Terence versus Errol and Manny. But I think people would love to see you guys fight if that fight's still possible. I think I speak for all boxing. That'd be a great fight.
Is that fight still possible?
The fight is definitely possible. I think it's possible for both of us. When I'm talking about the company line being Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence Jr., even Terence himself. I don't know if it's been an agreement that he's made with Bob Arum. And again, I'm not mad at him, but he's not going to say any other name but the names that he should say to make money. If you ask me if I'm going to fight Terence Crawford right now or Manny Pacquiao, I'm going to tell you Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
But my line of order is Manny Pacquiao then Terence Crawford.
Yeah. Are you? So I think you're the mandatory.
Yeah.
So that.
Thank you. I forgot about that. I forgot about
mandatory. Showtime, Shawn.
Which I did.
Exercising some rights.
Right. Which I did mention, I think, to Bob. Right.
Yeah. So you're the mandatory there.
Or Tim.
What was his response to that?
So no, actually, I mentioned it to Tim. I believe Tim. So Tim Bradley.
Tim's all about the fight.
Yeah. So he believes. Well,
Lou DiBella also mentioned on Twitter that he would like to see you fight, but specifically.
Should I start with Bob first or what Tim
start
said?
with Bob. Go ahead.
Okay, so I agree with what you're saying that stuff isn't supposed to be publicly aired out. But Bob does come from an era where people were a little more transparent with media, and before sports became so guarded.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But I agree that's messed up, especially when Bob just a week or two ago was really singing the praises of people like Naoya Inoue, and that's great. Inoue deserves praise, but this guy is probably the best pound for pound fighter in the world. You've promoted him for several years.
Top guy.
Yeah.
Put him on that pedestal. Put him on the pedestal you put Lomachenko on. And
It's like you got to support him while he's up there.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't see the support.
and I'm gonna pick up for Bob in one area in a second, but before I do, Lomachenko isn't a big talker, isn't a great personality, right?
Yeah.
So before I critique Bud for not getting out with the public as much as he should, Loma never did either. Loma did it less than Terence, and they still provided him that pedestal that they should. They definitely promote, but Joe Tessitore does a great job.
Yeah, all the guys do.
Yeah, all three.
Love
Yeah,
those
but
guys.
I mean, like during Bud coming out to Shaka Khan,
Which was awesome. Shout out to Bud for that.
I'm playing that song all day.
100%.
I play it a couple times a day. Yeah, play it a couple times.
Does it better?
Yeah.
And my issue with Bob saying that he said he lost money the last 3 Terence Crawford.
Yeah, basically, he's in the red.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
It sucks, but that's on you, dude.
Yeah,
like
business.
you could have made other fights.
Yeah.
So if you're like, I'm on the red when he fought Mean Machine and Jose Benavidez.
He's fighting who you're telling him to
you
fight.
pick these fights.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, man, that's crazy. Nobody wanted to see Terence Crawford and Mean Machine.
Yeah.
I have a top 10 pound for pound and a
Yeah, you're rather
guy.
rather go in the red than fight PBC fighters.
No, he wants
just
to.
because of your.
But PBC has all the leverage. They have no need to fight Terence
Just
Crawford.
like I told you what you can do with y'all can round robin them guys all day long.
Yeah.
Listen, I actually want to get into this a little bit more.
Okay.
But to Bob to put
A Clips channel.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, hold on a
one
second.
part.
Let's close it right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. See you next week. Peace out. Yeah. He's like,
Did you just throw a fart at me?
No, I thought it was like Gambit. Was it Gambit for
He
X-Men
said I was gonna
throwing
bring something out of my
cards?
back pocket.
Yeah. It's like Gambit throwing the
Man,
flaming cards. That
throw
was my
fart.
guy on Sega Genesis.
Listen, continue to subscribe. I know I said this when the show started.
Yeah.
Continue to subscribe to the Porterweight Podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms.
Yeah.
Continue to support the show. We're going to try to keep putting out great content for you guys.
Interviews, all kinds of stuff.
All the good stuff. We're having fun. Enjoy you. Hope you guys enjoy it. God bless y'all.
Peace.
Later.
Hey, this was an intense show. I loved it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porterweight Podcast.